we welcome you to the 2016 PWBA St. Petersburg-Clearwater Open Finals. It's the stepladder format for the best on the PWBA Tour. We may have a first-time PWBA Tour champion, and why not? It's been that way this summer. I'm Dave Lamont. Thank you for joining us. Kim Adler will be here in just a moment. Let's take a look at our four competitors. And believe it or not, in the first match, Kelly Kulick is still looking for that first PWBA title. Stephanie Johnson qualified third. Rocio Restrepo in the number 2 position, and making her television debut and her number 1 seed debut, Lindsay Boomershine, also one of those looking to join this summer of first-time winners, and we've seen it happen already.
It's amazing. It's been quite an interesting summer, and it'll be an interesting TV finals tonight for sure.
And Kelly Kulick yet to win on the PWBA Tour. Lord knows she's won. She has a trophy closet full of hardware, but not on this tour yet.
The ambassador for women's bowling, the ambassador for bowling, still hasn't won her first title back from PWBA relaunch.
Now, Lindsay Boomershine is a very interesting story. This is new territory for her. She has never been a number 1 seed. She's on television for the first time, and her reaction to all of this is going to tell our story.
First TV show, first potential title. There's a lot on the line for her tonight. New uncharted territory.
But she's going to have to be patient because she's in the number 1 position. She's got to sit through 2 matches, beginning with a really good one here. Kelly Kulick and Stephanie Johnson, with Rocio Restrepo awaiting winner of that. It's a nice little show. Stay with us. So let's begin. Stephanie Johnson, the number 3 seed, is selected to go first. She does have 1 PWBA Tour title. This is her second televised appearance of the season. She picked up a 4th place finish at the Go Bowling PWBA Players Championship. Lost to Clara Guerrero, who ended up winning the whole thing in the opening match, and she was 6th at the Queens.
She looked very loose to start tonight in practice.
And it translates to her first shot.
Just enjoying it. I noticed in our intro she was off to the side photobombing everybody, so you can back up your video and take a look at that. So that's how tense she is.
Kelly Kulick looking for her first PWBA title. However, anybody who's followed bowling over the last decade and beyond knows how great she is. And she goes 10 straight back. Take a look at our USBC Future for the Sport lane pattern.
So everybody this week was a 40-foot pattern. It was actually the curve oil, which is a newer Kegel oil, and everybody was basically playing the end of the pattern or between 15 to 10, trying to keep it right of the 10 board down lane. So that was the plan, and as it turns out, it actually does hook quite a bit in the later rounds as well, as we'll find out.
And Kelly got an 8-pin that was a little reluctant to leave the others behind, but down it goes too. So a very strong start for Kelly. Any player who bowls a 300 game on our CBS Sports Network Finals will receive a $10,000 bonus from the PWBA.
Wow, you guys don't mess around with that 300 game in frame 2.
Well,
So Stephanie threw a fairly decent shot, but the 6-pin just lays in the channel. It wasn't as crisp off her hand as some of her other shots can be. I know her game very well, and that little snap at the end is important for her.
No trouble there with the 10-pin.
No trouble at all.
Stephanie was the 2015 PWBA Rookie of the Year, but she's not exactly inexperienced.
She's not a rookie, but everyone was almost a rookie last year.
Yeah,
it was kind of the way it worked out. She's been around the block with her Team USA, 12 years on Team USA and Junior Team USA. 4
years on that. So, and I think, again, a name that is extremely familiar to bowling fans. She became first known as Stephanie Nation until she was married. That's wide right, and that's going to leave some work there at 2-4-10.
That ball came straight off the front of her hand in the middle of the release, if we can see a side view of her or a back view. So she swings the ball, and right at the bottom of the release, the ball just really didn't hit her fingers quite the same. 2-4-10 as a result. Not an impossible spare. She'll try for it, hopefully from the left side, and that has a better opportunity of making the 10 pin.
Nope. Just a little more with that 2-pin, and she could have kissed it off the 10. So an opening here early for Kelly Kulick. It's been an interesting summer for Kelly. She was a finalist at the U.S. Women's Open. She made the final 5, lost to Liz Johnson. Well, everybody lost to Liz Johnson at the U.S. Women's Open. She was the #1 seed in the PWBA Lexington Open Finals. Didn't win that one. And, oh, brother almighty, with a 9-pin that just didn't move. And another thing is that Kelly's also been dealing with a right ankle problem off and on.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. She's been ailing kind of a right ankle injury, and she will, sometimes you can see it when she's wearing her pants. You can't see it quite as much, but when she wears her shorts, of course, you can see it. But there is like an ankle brace under there that supports the muscles of her ankle on that side.
She's actually, she had to skip the Detroit event because of that. It was just too difficult for her. And we talked to Kelly about that ankle that's been a bit of a pain throughout the summer.
Kelly Kulick doesn't know how to quit. And the Tour Championship is the icing on the cake. It's our signature event at the end of the year, but there are so many events leading up to that moment. I've bowled with pain before, knowing within a step of my approach where the pain is going to occur. But with the injury, I never knew if I was going to push off and slide forward, if I was going to see stars. It's been difficult. I've never had this challenge that I faced this past season.
Now, Kelly's in the top 10 points for the Smithfield PWBA Tour Championship. If she wins this event, she locks herself down a spot. That's automatic, but that's a headache right there. A virtually impossible 2-8-10.
She got a little soft on that shot, and for her, the point of release at the bottom gives her a little extra roll, and that didn't really cut it that time. Her job right now is to just get the 2.
She'll do that and more. So she took her medicine, like it or not. And that's a big break for Stephanie Johnson, who just opened in the 3rd frame. The winner of this match will take on Rocio Restrepo, and awaiting all of that is Lindsay Boomershine.
Stephanie's ball speed, she tends to be a little further right on the lane than most of the other players. Tends to be pretty firm.
Like that.
Like that. Making it look easy. I almost expected Stephanie to break out and dance right there.
Well, Kelly had been doing some of that too in warm-ups. You know, as they warm up the audience and introduce the players and all that, Kelly is not afraid to bust out the dancing. She's an avid dancer, but at the moment, the dance floor is the farthest thing from her mind.
Kelly looked like she was in a little pain there. She looked a little grimaced.
She did. I noticed when Stephanie was on the approach that Kelly was kind of testing that ankle. So let's hope that she hasn't tweaked anything. That's got to hurry.
Came straight off the front of her hand that time as well. She's having some difficulty with good shots on that lane so far. So she rotates around through, but the ball actually comes between her thumb and her index finger, and that's not a good position for lifting through the ball, and that's usually the result, is you just miss right, and on this is not a direction you want to miss, is miss right on a 40-foot pattern. She cups her glove up pretty good and just throws it hard.
4.
That's a tough one. That sleeper back there obviously makes it difficult. Does a very, very nice job. There is Stephanie's mother.
Kelly's had a lot. She's affected a lot by the starting and stopping as we get older. That doesn't help as well, but with her ankle injury, that doesn't help things as well.
Well, there's good medicine for anything that ails you. Is a kick down on the 4-7. And an early lead for Kelly through 5 at +9.
Kelly's had the experience of Team USA and a lot of the sports psychology, and one of the things that you learn is how to deal with that pain, how to put it in an emotional place, and it's better to accept it to move through your shot rather than just to deny it's actually happening.
5-time major champion, Kelly. And
Great
yes,
shot.
fantastic shot by Kelly Kulik. She will send us to a break on a double and a 19-pin lead over Stephanie Johnson, who will be up when we return. You're watching the PWBA St. Petersburg-Clearwater Open Finals.
It's not easy to win, that's for sure. You know, these girls bring it, you know, including myself. All you can do is just continue to put yourself in a position to win, and when it's your time, it's going to be your time. I've knocked on the door a lot. I have 1 title on my name, so, you know, I just kind of feel like if I keep knocking that it's eventually going to happen again. So I think it keeps you hungry. It just keeps you motivated, just do better and better and keep working harder. And it's just exciting knowing that you can keep putting yourself in that position, and one of these days it's going to happen again.
All roads lead to the Smithfield PWBA Tour Championship, and here, if you have an X, you're in. You've already won your spot. Liz Johnson with a points lead. Rocio Restrepo, who is in this event. And we'll be next. Danielle McEwen, Shannon Pluhowski without an X, but still a top 4. And a first-time winner there, Brianna Cote, in the 14th spot. You see Josie Ernest is clinched, so is Cherie Tan. So that cut line now is where Erin McCarthy is sitting at number 15. Lindsay Boomershine can make a move, will make a move, and could crack into that top 14.
Now, on the little break we had, both Stephanie and Kelly spoke to their ball reps. I heard Stephanie and them have a conversation about footwork being just a pinch fast on the shots that she missed. So she's probably going to be focusing on slowing the pace down just a bit.
Well, that could have been a lot worse, and as it is, she's got the sleeper back there.
That looked like a pretty good shot off
I thought
her
it was
hand.
too.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to snap more toward the pocket.
The ball didn't react like we all thought it would. She throws it pretty down and in right now. Another one of those players that likes to keep things in control, and that was one of the pieces this week, was keeping that ball roll in control in the mid lane. Shooting at the 2-8, but it helps that that back pin is a little off to the right.
No trouble at all. That was a makeable shot, so you don't get any extra cash for that. However, if you convert a 7-10 split on our CBS Sports Network finals, you'll receive a $100,000 bonus courtesy of Ultimate Bowling Products.
Now this is the lane where the last 2 times she's gotten a little fast with her feet. So she's going to focus on kind of keeping this a little bit slower. That was a better shot.
And a better result.
Well, you can see here, the pace of her steps was a lot better. She was able to catch the ball at the bottom to get a little more roll, which was made all the result.
So Kelly coming off a double. She's had double in the first 2 frames, then spare, open, and then has doubled. Looks good. Yes, sir. No doubt about it. 3 in a row for Kelly Kulik.
She's doing a lot. She's doing a lot of her control with the actual ball in her hand. This ball is a control ball. It keeps everything in play. A little bit of shine to it, a little luster. 10 in the pit.
Where they belong. 31-pin lead for Kelly. Who's going to start to get to the late frames. It, but not push it real good, as it turned out. She's going to lead 4.
It was a good shot, but it was a little bit left at the marker down the lane. She wants to get that ball a little right of the marker, and that ball was right on top of it, or just a little left.
The U.S. Open Bowling Tournament will take place at the South Point Bowling Plaza in Las Vegas, Nevada, November 3 through 9. For more information on how to take part in one of bowling's most prestigious events, visit bowl.com/US Open. Yeah, but the 710 was just there for a second and then was wiped out.
So here's Kelly. She really uses her legs just in this spot to get the ball to the right. And Stephanie is a lot more down and in type of player. You see straight down and in, as opposed to where Kelly's playing whole different part of the lane.
Murray, all right, trouble avoided there. 4-7 left behind as the 6 fell down. But in the foundation, she almost left herself a split.
With all of the oil, we looked at the oil pattern earlier, there's a lot of oil in the front part of the lane for the first 20 feet. Even though it's a 40-foot pattern, you've got a lot of that front oil, which makes the ball react in the middle and the late part. Pretty extreme for a 40-foot pattern.
Neatly handled. And Kelly Kulik now in a position to put a stranglehold on this match.
She's either more focused or the medicine is kicked in because she looks a little less grimacy.
Well, being up 22 will also help your pain tolerance. That's got to hurry.
That's right.
And suddenly,
sometimes it's not the ankle, sometimes it's just the bowler. So on this shot, she really, her ball path was a good 3 boards further right on that shot through the front part of the lane. You can't have that much angle on a 40-foot.
this is not impossible. Maybe thought it would be a bounce back off of there, but now her lead has shrunk to 9.
So she's giving the thumb hole a little overlook there. She's taking out some tape. Apparently her thumb has gotten a little bigger and she's making a little more room for her thumb to clear. That can either hang up in the ball, or for some people they just release it too soon or too early as an adjustment.
Now she needs a double and 2, and she can win this right now.
Great shot.
Just a late little break, so scratch that idea. Stephanie Johnson's going to get a chance here to steal. That did look like a great.
I tried to hit it. I read it too soon.
And we can hit her. We can hear her on the mic. She felt like she got a little too much on that ball. That maybe that was the reason why that happened.
All right, first things first. Don't miss this. She doesn't.
Well, when we're bowlers, we're not thinking what not to do. We're thinking about what to do.
Sure.
Timing is so bad.
Gotta think positively. Positive words, positive thoughts.
Well, it's still going to be a challenge for Stephanie Johnson. If there is a chance for a tie here, if Kelly gets a strike and finishes at 201, Stephanie Johnson will need to strike out to take the match. It's a big shot right here. And instead, she leaves behind that mess. And that changes the focus for Stephanie a little bit. The first thing's first, she's got to strike on this ball.
Oh, boy.
She has to get a double and 7. Not easy, obviously.
She's looking pretty calm right now. She's composing herself, doing her breathing, getting herself set. Her thought right now is those steps keeping them comfortably slow.
That's
Great
one.
shot there. She just needs to do exactly the same thing on the next shot.
Kelly can't bear to look.
Everything was perfectly in time. She caught all of that in just the right way. Ball's perfect. That never had any chance to not strike.
Changed ball, too.
This is the time to do it. After this ball, she's got the confidence to kind of play around a bit for the next game. Shot.
If she gets there, because this is the shot that will get her the opportunity.
Oh, that's
I like it.
Oh, tickles it. Oh,
Yeah, a
almost.
tickle, a wobble, and it stands. Kelly, you can look. Because you won.
Extended play for Kelly. This is a chance to kind of think things through and maybe come up with a new game plan.
She's got Rocio Restrepo in the next match.
And I thought Stephanie bowled a very good game. Just wasn't enough.
Relief for Kelly Kulik. Disappointment, of course, for Stephanie Johnson. Kelly still alive in search for her first PWBA Tour title. She'll take on Rocio Restrepo in the next match.